On OSRC News at 7, experts advocate proper hygiene to prevent Lassa fever outbreak. OSRC explores joint accounts to foster financial harmony in marriage. Federal government charges governors to lead national economic revival. From foreign scene, one Syrian city stands out amid sectarian violence. Good evening and welcome to the news. I am Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi. The Ondo State government has raised an alarm over what it described a disturbing and well-coordinated campaign of blackmail, cyberbullying and misinformation targeted at the state governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, and other senior officials. According to the government, the smear campaign is being orchestrated by a handful of individuals, including 2 legal practitioners who have allegedly resorted to malicious propaganda after failing to secure political appointments, contracts, and financial favors from the administration. In a statement by the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mr. Idowu Ajanaku, the government said the individuals recently demanded a staggering sum of 200 million naira under the guise of offering support for the governor through a fraudulent and unregistered organization. Ajanaku described the actions as a calculated attempt to distract the government focus on transparency, accountability, and people-oriented development. He emphasized that the Ayedatiwa administration remains open to constructive criticism rooted in truth and fairness, but will not tolerate cyber harassment, deliberate misinformation, or politically motivated blackmail disguised as activism. Nigeria is currently battling a significant outbreak of Lassa fever, a viral hemorrhagic illness that has claimed 168 lives from January to mid-September 2025. With 906 confirmed cases across 21 states, the epidemic presents a worrying case fatality rate of 18.5%, higher than last year's 16.9%. The most affected states are Ondo, Edo, Bauchi, Taraba, and Ebonyi, accounting for about 90% of all recorded infections. Osrc's Adewumi Taiwo has details on the latest developments.
Lassa fever, named after the town in Borno State where it was first identified in 1969, remains one of Nigeria's most persistent public health challenges. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC), the country records an average of 1,000 and 1,200 confirmed cases annually, with Ondo State consistently leading the chart for 6 consecutive years. The disease is caused by the Lassa virus, transmitted primarily through contact with food or household items contaminated by the urine or feces of infected rodents, particularly the multi-mammate rats, commonly found in rural and semi-urban homes. Human-to-human transmission also occurs, especially among healthcare workers and caregivers, due to inadequate infection control practices. Symptoms usually begin gradually with fever, weakness, and malaise, but can worsen into chest pain, vomiting, and bleeding from body openings in severe cases. Tragically, about 80% of infected persons show no symptoms, allowing the disease to spread silently within communities. Currently, there is no licensed vaccine or rapid diagnostic test for Lassa fever. However, early treatment with ribavirin and antiviral drug combined with intensive supportive care significantly increases survival chances. Director of Public Health at the Ondo State Ministry of Health, Dr. Stephen Fagbemi, explained that fighting the virus remains a continuous battle. He emphasized the need for residents to adopt preventive measures including proper waste management and rodent control.
So you can catch this disease from a sick person, and you can catch it if you are not careful with your personal hygiene and environmental hygiene. So the prevention is to pay attention to personal hygiene. Wash your hands always as you touch things, and food hygiene. Cover your food, make sure that all your food, especially food that is not cooked, keep it away from rats. And if you even have cooked food and it are left over, properly cover it, and make sure that as much as possible rats do not infest your house. And how do you do that? By managing your waste properly. If there are no waste lying around, the rats are not likely going to be growing and coming around. So those are the key areas. And if somebody is sick, yes, I said you can catch it from a sick person. If people are sick, let them go to the hospital. Let's not be taking care of sick people in the house, especially when you don't know what kind of sickness.
Health experts stressed that the fight against Lassa fever must be multi-pronged, focusing on environmental sanitation, rodent control, and early reporting of suspected cases. They also advocate sustained public enlightenment campaigns, particularly in endemic communities across Ondo, Edo, and Bauchi states, where most infections originate. Residents are urged to store food in rodent-proof containers, keep their surroundings clean, and avoid drying food items on the ground where rats can contaminate them. Healthcare workers on their part are advised to maintain strict infection prevention and control protocols, including the use of personal protective equipment when handling suspected cases.
Preventive measure is to keep all our food, store what we know that we can just eat directly without boiling. We keep them inside a container that have cover. So, and any food that we notice that the rat has already eaten, we should throw them away. We shouldn't eat. Some people will say, let me cut that area and throw it away. This thing is very powerful that when you didn't cook that food enough, it will affect you. So rather we will advise you throw the food away. When we notice it, we refer on time so that they will just test. Immediately they do test and they confirm it. They place the person on treatment.
This disease is not a joke. It's not a joke. It's affecting people and it's really killing people outside. They should make them understand that these are the ways they can contact it and these are the ways to prevent it. And whenever anybody has that kind of their signs and symptoms related to that, they should quickly go to the nearest hospital so that they can be treated early in order to prevent complications.
Lassa fever continues to pose a serious threat to Nigeria's health system. Its recurring outbreaks, coupled with limited surveillance, diagnostic delays, and poor sanitation, highlights the urgent need for sustained investment in public health infrastructure and awareness. Until the nation closes the gaps in prevention, early detection, and response, the question remains: have we really won the war against Lassa fever? Adewumi Taiwo, Osrc News.
Money and love, two powerful forces that can either build or break a relationship. As couples talk more about financial transparency and trust, one question keeps coming up: can you truly have a joint account with your spouse and still keep the peace? In this report, Oluwanifemi Abayomi hits the streets to find out how people really feel about sharing bank accounts with their partners.
In today's world, managing family finances is a central part of building a healthy relationship. A joint account, one operated by two or more people, allow couples to combine their earnings, settle bills, and plan for shared goals like buying a home, paying school fees, or saving for emergencies.
To me personally, I don't see anything wrong with it. Having a joint account with my wife. Because number one, we start spiritual aspect. The Bible says we are one.
For many, a joint account symbolizes unity, openness, and shared responsibilities. It helps couples track spending and avoid suspicion about money matters. But for others, it is a bit complicated. Some partners say it limits their financial independence, especially when one party spends without consultation or when every purchase must be jointly approved.
It's not that I do trust my spouse, but I can't do it because as a personal something.
Experts say there is no one-size-fits-all approach. They advise that before opening a joint account, couples should have honest conversation about income, spending habits, and long-term goals. Trust and clear communication, they emphasize, are more important than the account itself.
Mo rí ní tèmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tó dáa tó bá jẹ́ wípé àtọkọ àtaya wọ́n wà ní Kristi tí ò sí ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà kó dáa.
In the end, a joint account can strengthen partnership, but only when both partners value transparency, discipline, and mutual respect. After all, when it comes to love and money, teamwork makes the dream work. Oluwanifemi Abayomi, Osrc News.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has called on state governors and the private sector to lead the charge in steering the country's economic revival, emphasizing the pressing need for a shift from extractive commerce to intra-African trade. The Vice President at a pre-investor forum of the Intra-African Trade and Investment Conference spoke on facilitating intra-African trade and investment, unlocking the potential of African direct investment and foreign direct investment for sustainable growth. Citing continental disparity, Shettima noted that while inter-regional trade constituted 65% of commerce in Europe and 60% in Asia, Africa lagged at 17%. He emphasized the federal government's commitment to stabilizing the currency, streamlining taxes, and improving the ease of doing business, while outlining the need for transparent governance and investors' trust. He added that the role of the governors is to meet this commitment with integrity, speed, and focus. The Federation Accounts Allocation Committee has distributed 2.103 trillion naira in September 2025 revenue to the federal, state, and local governments, marking one of the largest monthly disbursements so far this year. The figure was revealed in a communique issued at the end of FACT's October meeting held in Abuja. Out of the 2.103 trillion naira shared, the federal government received 711.31 billion naira, while states got 727.17 billion naira. The 774 local government councils shared 529.95 billion naira, and oil producing states received 134.96 billion naira as 13% derivation from mineral revenue. The disbursement represents a 16% increase from the 1.813 trillion naira shared in August 2025 and 22% rise compared to the 1.728 trillion naira allocated in July. This upward trend marks the fourth consecutive month of revenue growth in 2025, largely driven by improved VAT performance, digital transaction levies, and moderate oil price recovery. We take a break now. When we come back, the news continues. Please don't go away.
Huge winning! High odds! Fast pay! Bookmaker Company.
Glad to have you back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. In Yoruba land, fashion is more than style. It is reflection of history, identity and creativity. From the traditional kembe and ashoke to modern trends like palazzo, cargo pants and joggers, Nigerian fashion evolves while staying true to its cultural roots. Aderonke Kolawole explores this dynamic blend of heritage and innovation in today's fashion scene.
From the intricate looms of ancient weavers to today's cutting-edge fashion studios, fashion in Nigeria, particularly among the Yorubas, has woven a story of change and creativity through the centuries. Before the Western influence, Yoruba men were adorned in kembe, a wide ledger trousers crafted from a cotton or ashoke, while women shone in iro and buba, crowned with vibrant gele. These outfits were more than attire. They embodied culture, pride, and identity. Today, those values of beauty and comfort persist, reimagined in modern forms. The story kembe has inspired palazzo, cargo pants, joggers, and chinos, a fusion of tradition and contemporary style. Global fashion and modernization have reshaped Yoruba designs, yet the signature embroidery, bold colors, and cultural essence remain unmistakable. Recently, classic pieces like kembe, shokoto, and ashoke are making a comeback, reimagined with fresh creativity. Designers note a growing passion among youths to embrace their heritage while staying trendy. From the younger generation, reviving traditional wear is a way to preserve culture and reconnect with their roots. Even those born long after these styles were first emerged are breathing new life into them through innovation and social media.
Ó máa gbé àṣà wa lárugẹ nítorí pé àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ẹ̀sìn àwọn tó bá fẹ́ mọ̀ tó bá béèrè pé báwo ló ń ṣe láyé àtijọ́ tó bá rí àwọn àgbà tó máa tọ́ wọn sí ọ̀nà wọn á ráyè ṣàlàyé fún wọn. Torí tí wọ́n bá béèrè wọn lè mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ayé àtijọ́.
Experts highlight the fabric quality has evolved, with synthetic blends now complementing the hard-woven cotton of traditional wear, enhancing durability and versatility.
There's a new revival of we trying to reinvent the olden traditional styles. Okay, we're bringing the vintage styles, what our grandparents and parents wore back then. We are reinventing it, we are modernizing it now to suit our present era, our new era. There's a lot of cultural pride and heritage being upheld more than ever lately with our modern fashion.
In the olden days, I believe people have the way they usually do it, but now we use machine. In the olden days, people used to use hand to do these designs. So now everything has changed. Now we use machine to do it. I can design like 3 to 4 agbada in a day using this machine. So it has really helped.
Social media, celebrities and influencers are fueling this revival, bridging tradition and trends to bring Nigerians' fashion to a global stage.
Is the influence of media. The influence of media. Now we see that Nollywood fans, even our musicians, our fashion influencers, I'll call them trendsetters. So because now you see them just come up with an idea, maybe probably with their photographers, and then they bring up the old designs, and then they post it online, and there's so much visibility, and everybody just see it like, okay, this is a new trend, and we start following it. Fashion itself doesn't change. Fashion itself doesn't change. It is people's mindset. It is people's feelings and expressions and looking out for value that is actually changing, not fashion itself.
As styles evolve, so does appreciation for what defines Yoruba identity. Tracing its evolution from kembe to cargo, Yoruba fashion tells a timeless story, one that celebrates culture, identity, and creativity across generations. Adirunke Kolawole, Osrc News.
The River State Local Government Service Commission has launched a biometric verification exercise to eliminate ghost workers from the state's local government system. Chairman of the commission, Israel Amadi, who confirmed this in an interview, said the ongoing verification, which includes both online and physical assessments, aims to ensure that only genuine and duly employed staff remains on payroll. Amadi said the initiative forms part of the commission's broader plan to sanitize the system, promote accountability, and enhance service delivery across all local government areas. He explained that the verification is taking place simultaneously across the 23 local government areas, with a few teams deployed to capture biometric data and cross-check records with existing documentation. Amadi urged all employees to cooperate fully with verification officers, noting that the process is not punitive but aimed at improving efficiency and transparency. Troops of the Nigerian Army have rescued 24 kidnapped victims in a major counter-banditry operation across Kwara and Kogi states. The acting deputy director of Army Public Relations, 2 Division Nigerian Army, Lieutenant Colonel Polycarp Okoye, disclosed this in a statement that the operation followed coordinated offensive by troops of the 12th Brigade Lokoja and 22 Armored Brigade Ilorin. The rescued teams, including 14 males, 5 females, an infant, and 4 Chinese nationals who were adopted from various locations across the 2 states. Okoye said some of the victims had been in captivity for more than 4 months before the military's intensified operations forced the bandits to release them. He added that the rescued victims had been handed over to the appropriate authorities for medical attention and reunification with their families, while efforts are ongoing to track down the fleeing bandits. For decades, Syrians have faced division and sectarian fighting. One city remained relatively untouched by the violence. Members of the community there say it could serve as an example to other cities. Adirunke Kolawole has details.
A melody of love for the city of Salamia. Women from Sunni, Alawi, Circassian, and other groups make up this orchestra, but most are Muslims from the Ismaili branch of Shia Islam. They believe in the continuity of the spiritual leader or Imam from 1,400 years ago, and their beliefs have shaped the social fabric of the city. Alif Akor is an Ismaili sculptor whose brother was arrested by the Azad regime. Although life is better now, he is in court whether minorities will have equal rights under Syria's new government.
Syria is still struggling. We hope the new government, the international community, and God will help Syria rise again. After just 10 months of recovery, it's too early to feel optimistic.
That is a view shared by many other Ismailis here. They said a third of the 100,000 residents left after the conflict in Syria began in 2011, when Salamia became the first non-Sunni city to revolt against the Alawi-dominated regime of Bashar al-Assad. Although many people here were imprisoned and tortured, the city was spared from destruction. Known for its high number of educated professionals, the Islamic community used the regime's claim of protecting minorities. It was a successful strategy to document and share details both within the country and abroad of the attacks and abuses committed by Assad regime forces.
The former regime attempted to align us with its interests, but we remained steadfast in maintaining balanced relationships with all communities, including neighboring Bedouin tribes.
But beneath these melodies lies deep sorrow. Rabat's brother-in-law was killed when he was shot in the head by a sniper. The Syrians have learned to live with ever-present pain, and they still manage to find hope. Adirunke Kolawole, Osrc News.
And now sports. The Osrc Under 17 football competition is set to light up the football scene in Akure, Ondo State. In Ondo State, as 36 teams drawn from 18 local government areas get up for action. Speaking at the Draws and Sensitization Program held in Akure, the Commissioner for Youth and Sport Development, Henry Omoyofumi, said the competition is not just about winning trophies, but about building future stars for the state and the nation. Osrc's Bengalu has details.
Excitement is building as preparations intensify for the 2025 Osrc Under 17 football competition, a grassroots tournament designed to discover young football talents across the state.
Look at the board, look at the team.
A total of 36 teams from 18 local government areas will compete for honors in what promises to be one of the biggest youth football events in recent years.
Today marks yet another.
At the draws, the Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Henry Omoyofumi, assured participants that the competition will serve as a platform for young players to showcase their potential and open doors to greater opportunities in the game. He said the goal is to identify raw talents across all local governments and help them reach professional levels.
The essence of today's event is to guarantee fairness, impartiality, in how teams are grouped, to remove any suspicion of bias or manipulation. This is not business as usual. In the match fixtures and build trust and more participating team in each of our local government.
Director of Sports in the Ministry, Mrs. Evelyn Levy, described the tournament as a positive channel to engage the youth, reduce social vices, and promote unity through sport.
So there is need to engage and empower our youth with sporting activities so that they will engage their youthful energies to compete in sporting activities rather than involving in social vices.
Other football stakeholders present at the draws commended the Ministry for sustaining grassroots football development in the state.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to identify the sports and sports development.
We expect that as many that are going to be chosen, we dream sport, we swim sport, we eat sport, and we act sportly.
This time around, this is a very good opportunity for us.
That is the purpose of this competition, to catch them young.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner, for making me fit to have this type of competition for us. I mean referees.
We of the supporters stakeholders forum, we are always ready and willing to offer our ideas to the State Ministry of Youth and Sport Development.
As the countdown begins, all eyes are now on the Osrc Under 17 football competition, where 36 teams from 18 local governments will battle for glory, producing the next generation of Nigerian football heroes. Binga Oluwa Channel, Osrc News.
To end the news tonight, here again are some of the major stories. We told you that health experts have urged stronger hygiene practices, tighter surveillance, and sustained public awareness as Nigeria battles a major Lassa fever outbreak that has claimed 168 lives across 21 states. We also told you that the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, has called on state governors and private sectors to drive Nigeria's economic revival. He emphasized the need to shift from extractive commerce to intra-African trade. That's it on the news. Thank you so much for watching. Good evening.